Chapter 65:10. Helena was very sensible. Seeing Charlie say this, although she felt disappointed, she still said, "Since Mr. Wade has made up his mind, I will not keep you any longer. I will go to the airport to see you and Miss Lynn off tomorrow." Maria on the side suddenly smiled and asked, "Sister Helena, the winter here is too long. And it will be boring if you stay there for a long time. Why don't you come to China with us for vacation? In the past, when your family came to winter break, you should have gone to Southern Europe or equatorial countries for vacation, right?" Helena didn't expect Maria to invite her to China. And she said awkwardly, we go to Southern Europe or equatorial countries for vacation, mainly because we have industries there and we are familiar with the local governments. It is convenient to enter and the privacy is relatively high. As for China, the royal family has only made state visits there before. But there has been no contact about vacation. So it may be more troublesome. Maria said, "Actually, it's not a big deal. Let Osu City and Aarhus Hill establish a friendly city relationship. And then you can come to Aarhus Hill on this basis. The Nordic royal family will then rent a hotel in Aarhus Hill and take care of the security. And there will be basically no problem. If you want to be more convenient, you can directly rent the Shangri-La in Aarhus Hill, which is Brother Charlie's industry. In addition, you can also say hello to the relevant departments there and say that you don't want to be too high profile and ask the media not to report on you. And there will be basically no problem." When Helena heard this, her eyes suddenly shone with some brilliance. Maria's idea is very feasible. The Nordic countries are relatively small, and the royal family is more of a mascot. Therefore, it is not surprising for the Queen to personally show up to establish friendly cities with big countries. It is also reasonable for her to solve the accommodation and security problems by herself. When the Saudi royal family came to China to discuss cooperation, they once booked an entire hotel. In addition to airlifting a fleet of vehicles, they also rented dozens or even hundreds of luxury Mercedes-Benz and Maybach cars in the capital. So it is very easy for her to solve the accommodation and security problems by herself too. So, she looked at Charlie and asked him, "Mr. Wade, if I come to Aarhus Hill, will it bother you?" Charlie didn't understand why Maria suddenly had the idea to invite Helena to Aarhus Hill. But since she said so, he certainly couldn't show embarrassment. After all, Helena helped a lot when he and Maria came here this time. So he smiled and said, "No, you are welcome to come to Aarhus Hill anytime you want." Helena was very excited and said quickly, "Then I will communicate with Susan, the Prime Minister, and the Mayor to push this matter forward." After dinner with Helena, Charlie went back to the room to pack his carry-on luggage. When he was halfway through packing, he heard Maria's voice from outside the door. "Brother Charlie, is it convenient to talk to you now?" "Convenient," Charlie answered casually. Maria pushed the door in, closed the door carefully, walked to him, and asked in a low voice with expectation, "Young master, is everything going well in Morocco this time?" "Smooth." Charlie introduced the general information to her. After listening to this, Maria couldn't help but laugh and said, "Young master is really good at this. Just one reshaping pill has made Victoria confused. After this incident, her mentality will definitely change dramatically. If her mentality is wrong, it will affect her judgment, which is good for us." After that, she asked him, "By the way, young master, have you continued to practice that set of hand seals to accumulate spiritual energy these days?" Charlie nodded and said, "As long as I have free time, I have never stopped." Maria asked expectantly, "Then have you tried to inject more spiritual energy into the ring?" Charlie said, "No, I'm worried that the ring is too overbearing and will directly absorb all my spiritual energy. I'm going to try it again after returning to Aarhus Hill. If my spiritual energy is drained, I can take medicine to replenish it. The pills that can replenish spiritual energy on me have been used to detoxify those dead soldiers and the cavalry guards." Maria nodded repeatedly, looked at Charlie, and asked him, "If you plan to try it after returning to Aarhus Hill, can I let me watch from the side?" I'm very curious about what other effects the ring has. Charlie smiled and said, "Of course, I have to try it. If Miss Lynn is interested, then after we land in Orus Hill late tomorrow night, we can go to the hillside villa of Champs Elysees and see if there is anything special about this ring."